Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Nigeria, your ultimate morning companion. It's a beautiful Thursday and as always, we are ready to brighten your day with energy, loads of fun and top of the word goodness. Well, today is not just any Thursday, it's Artsy Thursday. So we've got a lineup that will leave you inspired for sure. You know what they say, Thursday is the gateway to the weekend and we're going to make sure you feel that energy right here on Wake Up Nigeria. We're not doing this alone, okay? I am definitely not the only one on the show today. Soon enough, you'd see MM for sure. And I believe Mike is also somewhere in the building. All right. Let me let you know that this morning, of course, there will be breakfast as always. So stick around for that. The energy is going to be totally on point. Buckle up and get ready for a fantastic morning drive. My name is Mary Bashua Alimi. You can catch us live on GOTV at channel 16 and on UHF band 49. Follow us across all social media platforms. Stream us live at TVC Entertainment on YouTube and on Facebook at TVC Entertainment _. Now, for following us is at TVC Entertainment _ on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, wherever it is you want to follow us. We are definitely going to love hearing from you using the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. And of course, remember we've got our app, which is available for download on both Android and iOS stores. Now, what do we have in store for you this morning? Let's kick off with the art display. All right, so this morning we've got the art display for you. And we're actually going to be having a conversation with Akintola Samuel, who is going to be reviewing his realism and hyperrealism. We are looking forward to that. So much in store for you this morning. I'm sure you're as excited as we are. Right now, however, let's check out the weather. Time for the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mary Bashua Alimi. The federal government has met with labor leaders in Abuja. Although the agenda of the meeting was not made known to newsmen, it comes on the heels of the recent hike in the price of petrol across the country. The federal government's delegation was led by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, while the President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, Trade Union Congress Secretary General, Nuhu Toro, led the organized labor team. The Minister of State for Labour, Nkeruka Onyejocha, Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, and Minister of Budget and National Planning, Atiku Bagudu, were also in attendance.
General discussions. Government is always desirous of engaging with labor. This is one of such engagements. We will continue to interact with them. This is a renewed commitment on behalf of government to continue to engage labor on a number of issues. These engagements have been very fruitful and we will continue to engage with them.
Staying in the National Assembly, the House of Representatives has asked the federal government to comply with provisions of the Fiscal Responsibility Act and submits the 2025 appropriation bill. It equally wants the federal government to reverse the recent hike in the pump price of petrol and take immediate steps to stabilize the price of cooking gas. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
Section 11, subsection 1B of the Fiscal Responsibility Act stipulates that the federal government must not later than 4 months before the commencement of the next financial year lay before the National Assembly a medium-term expenditure framework for the next 3 financial years.
1999 Constitution.
Akwa Ibom State member Clement Jimbo says the time the National Assembly requires to exercise its functions is technically being taken away by the non-compliance of Section 11, subsection 1B of the Fiscal Responsibility Act.
The House accordingly resolved and urged the executive to comply with Section 11, subsection 1B and submit to the National Assembly 2025 budget proposal without further delays.
In another motion, The House wants a reversal of the pump price of petrol and cooking gas and tax government to stabilize the prices of these commodities while also ensuring their availability. The motion, sponsored by 102 members of the House, further demands targeted interventions, including temporary tax relief measures for low-income households.
That the escalating fuel and gas prices are impacting the cost of transportation, food, essential goods, and health care, further increasing inflation and pushing many families into deeper financial hardship.
Contributors to the motion advised the government to explore alternative energy sources to reduce reliance on petrol and gas.
Somebody who is earning 70,000 a month, his 70,000 cannot last him for 3 days.
Inasmuch as a law exists, the consequences of the discharge of that law on the common man must be addressed.
It's not only in my constituency that the masses or the poor or the people are suffering. I believe most of the constituencies, people are suffering because of this increase.
They also call on the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, NNPCL, and other relevant agencies to expedite repair and maintenance of domestic refineries. House calls on the Central Bank of Nigeria to implement monetary policies that will mitigate the adverse effects of fuel price hikes on inflation, especially as they concern essential goods and services. Joke Yadisa, TVC News, Abuja.
Outside Nigeria, the United Nations peacekeeping force in Lebanon says another Israeli tank opened fire on one of its positions in the south, damaging a watchtower. Palestinian ambassador to the UN mentioned that Israel's goal in Gaza has been the forcible displacement of the Palestinian people and the annexation of the Palestinian territory. According to Gaza's health ministry, Israeli attacks have killed 65 people and wounded 140 in the last 24 hours. At least 400 persons have been killed and more than 99,000 wounded in Israeli attacks since October 7 last year. It's good to have you here, ma'am.
Thank
How
you.
you doing?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. Very well. Thank you. Okay, so quite a number of things are happening. Well, the big one I know for sure, you've got it.
Very funny. Right. So yesterday, while strolling on the streets of X, I came across this particular video that sort of got my attention. And it was a video of a parent beating up a teacher. And this, according to the tweet, was happening in a particular school somewhere in Idimu in Lagos State. It happened at the time. And as to why the parent was beating the teacher wasn't confirmed. We don't know why, but it was just, it was just a video of the parent beating up the teacher. And then another teacher came to intervene. But the parent was obviously livid and, angry and aggravated by whatever the situation was. Like I said, we don't know what it was that caused, that sort of rancor, but, right. So it just sort of got our attention, my attention, and I thought to share it. We've seen cases where parents bully teachers, schools have standards, right? And maybe according to those standards, the teachers may just be, acting accordingly. That's not to say that, some teachers do not go overboard. Or some teachers are not aggressive in their mode of teaching or, their mode of guardians. Because the minute the children are under their, protection or in their space, they're responsible for them, right? We've seen cases where parents bully teachers. It's not right in any way, right? Regardless of whatever the teacher may have done. But then again, let's hear your thoughts.
My thoughts.
That's my opinion.
My thoughts vary, actually. So there was a time when I would say there's absolutely no excuse, no reason whatever this should have taken place. However, these days, I've realized that besides the fact that many people need to learn to control their emotions, there's also a need to hear the other side of the story, at least hear what happened. There is no justification whatsoever for you to walk into a classroom where young, impressionable children are and start beating up their teacher. It gives them that belief that anybody can mess with their teacher. It also affects the respect they have for their teacher because they feel, oh, you're a weakling, anybody can deal with you. Besides other such emotional impact it's going to have, psychological impact as well. So there's absolutely no excuse. Even if you had an issue with the teacher that you felt would make you go physical despite how angry you are, it would have been better off, say, in the principal's office, for example. The first X year was 1, hitting another person, 2, hitting that person in front of young, impressionable children, and 3, not managing your emotions. Those 3 are big for me. Now, the thing is this, no matter where you go to now, there's already a case, especially if this goes to court. You would be severely punished. There is, on the one hand, what the person may have done to your child, but then on the other hand, there is what you did to that person, which is what was caught on camera. So if the person has a good case and can deny whatever it is they did to your child,
you cannot deny.
You cannot deny this because there's video evidence.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying about the need for emotional intelligence. Now, let's even put that aside. Let's now talk about the attitude of parents towards teachers and the attitude of teachers towards the children. Not
towards
even
the children.
Parents. Towards parents is even a different matter entirely. Now, you are giving children to take care of. And because many of them, you know, they look up to you or they have such huge respect for you, you don't regard them. You don't treat them well enough. You also act like they are not deserving of respect because they are children. Many people forget that children are to be respected. They are also human beings. Now, respect does not mean that you are subservient to them. That's a different matter. But respect means you understand the fact that this is a human being like yourself. Many teachers they treat children like they are subhuman. From eating the child's food, so the child goes home starving.
I've never heard, I've heard cases of that, but that's still sort of strange to me, to be honest. Teachers eating children's food.
Yeah, but teachers do. So I've always recommended to parents, if you can afford to, always give extra portion to your children to school.
But this is not
so that at least something gets into your child's belly.
Have you experienced this before, Mary?
I don't even want to go down that.
Are you serious?
I don't want to go down that line.
Wow.
Please, let's just take a break.
Well, let's hear your thoughts as well. Use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Have you ever had to have an altercation with a teacher or anybody in your child's school? How did you handle it? Let us know on all our social media handles. And we'll take a break. The show continues shortly.
About to have a conversation with 2 chefs who are here to talk to us about the World Chef Day, which will be taking place on October 20, 2024. Now, we have Chef Sylvanus and Chef Kola in the studio with us this morning. How you doing?
Very well.
Awesome. Okay, so chefs are special people because you have the kind of duties you do, how it's streamlined and all. And so I wonder, when we talk about chefs, most people think, oh, is it not a cook? Is it not a caterer? Is there really any difference? I've always wondered about that because that comes up, and when you try to explain to people that, oh, there's a difference, they say, no, they're all the same. Is there a difference?
Yes, there is a big difference.
Okay.
A chef have the culinary expertise.
Okay.
But a cook is a person that a chef supposed to direct.
Okay.
Yes, he's still undergoing training to become a chef.
Oh, okay. So a cook is someone who is still undergoing training to become a chef.
Yes.
Okay. So if I employ a chef,
yes,
it means the person has been trained, properly trained, has a culinary expertise. What about someone with several years of cooking experience? Doesn't that person also qualify as a chef?
You may work for a year, and you can still be a cook.
Why?
Because you did not develop yourself.
Oh.
A chef need to develop himself
From time to time.
from time to time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So then what then is the difference between a caterer, a chef, and a cook, Chef Kola?
There's a lot of difference.
Okay.
We can say caterers. Some of the caterers we have, they are meant for parties. They cook large
They cater
dishes.
for events.
Yes, for events. And cooks, most of them works in the kitchen, the chefs.
Okay.
They are more or less like an assistant to the chef, undergoing some trainings from chefs.
Okay.
But one thing is, chefs are more or less the kitchen manager.
Okay.
They take care of all the affairs. They are the one in charge of the recipe. They are the one in charge of the system, the purchasing, checking the quality of the materials that are being used in the kitchen. Why all those things are being certified by them. Then they will ask the cooks to do whatever they want them to do.
Okay.
And also the
Put the meal
caterers. So
together.
those two stages, they are still working under the chef.
So the chef, the cook and the caterer are still under the chef?
They are still under the chef.
Aha. Okay, so World Chef Day this year, what's the plan? What should we look forward to?
We have a lot of events that is coming up because we have places that will be visiting. Then we have people that will be trained on a very short training, at least to get them exposed to have an experience in cookery world.
Wow.
And also on the healthy part of what you are meant to do, even when you are in your house, not just eating whatever you like. Because like we all know, the best medicine now is your food.
It's food, yes.
So we'll be exposing that to, along with this program that is coming up.
So if for anyone that wants to participate, get some culinary trainings, is there any price, or is just something you're doing to help people?
Mostly the younger ones that are growing up that aspire to become a chef.
Okay.
Sometimes we organize the training for them free.
Good.
Yes, most especially this World Chef Day that we are organizing. Sometimes we do it for them free to see that at least we get them acquainted, let them understand value of a chef. We'll train them. Sometimes we'll tell them some of the achievers, some of the chefs, the big chefs that have made us proud. So we'll tell them about them. We'll train them free.
So for an average cook or caterer watching right now wants to be a chef, what do they need to know to benefit from this free training?
So one thing is they need to know that they have to free their mind, because sometimes you want to be a chef and your mind is somewhere else.
So you need to be sure of what you want to do.
You need to be sure of what you want to do.
Focus on it.
Yes, and focus.
Okay, so on October 20, when World Chef Day is taking place, what should people look forward to? Is there going to be free food? Is there, where's the event taking place? Tell us all about it, Chef Kola.
Yeah, there's going to be free food.
Yay! In this economy, okay.
Yes, because anywhere you see chef,
there will be food.
So, and one thing is, the most important is there's going to be a lot of free training, which is very important. Because aside for we giving out some free food, but what we are really focusing on most especially is training people, especially now that the economy is very bad, like the caterers and the cooks that you made mention, that want to be a chef. It's part of the things they are going to learn that, okay, how do you plan yourself now that the economy is very hard? Okay, if you are being given a job, okay, what are you meant to do before dashing into your kitchen and start cooking? So how do you make your cost now effective without reducing the quality of what you are supposed to give to your customers?
So basically, the skills that you have already as a chef. Where is it taking place and what time is it?
At HBS at Olowora.
Okay.
Anything from 9.
Okay.
The program will start till evening.
That's on October 20th.
Yes.
Okay, as long as there's free food, we'll be there. I'm just kidding. But really, thank you so much for your time, Chef Silvanos and Chef Kola. Thank you indeed.
You're welcome.
And talking about food, you know how we do it, right? There's always food on Wake Up Nigeria. is in the kitchen right now with the chef.
Yes, I am. And making his debut on the show this morning in our kitchen is Chef Kinsley. How you doing?
I'm doing great, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing very fine.
Fantastic. So this morning, Kinsley will be making banga soup with starch. No better swallow to complement your banga soup other than starch. As in, Kinsley really had us in mind this morning. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Now let's talk about the ingredients for our banga soup.
Okay, here is my crayfish that I'll be using for it. I'm going to blend it.
Okay.
Then here is my banga spice.
Okay.
And then here is the mangi cube.
The seasoning cube.
Yeah, the seasoning cube that I'll be using for it. Then this is my salt. This is my pepper. Then this is the protein I'll be using for it. You can use any protein of your choice, but me, I'm using my catfish, fresh catfish. Then this is optional, so this is perinko. I like perinko in my own banga soup, so that's why I'm using it for it.
Adding that.
Yes,
okay.
that's what I'm adding. Then here is my dry fish that I'll be using also inside to add a bit more flavor to it.
Okay.
Here's my bitter leaf I want to use for it also to add more flavor to it. Then here is my onion that I'll be using for it also.
So now for the onions, are we slicing, chopping, or blending it?
I'm blending it with
okay.
it. Then here is the banga also that I'll be using for it.
Okay.
And then,
so this particular banga, just drop it down. Okay. Thank you. So this particular banga extra was gotten from the can one, right?
Yes.
So this you can get off the counter, in any store. Just ask for banga spice. If you can't, sorry, banga oil. If you can't make your own banga, because the process is quite long, and a lot of people really don't have that time, right? Then our starch.
Yes, this is starch.
Okay. It's been a long time I saw starch. Where did you find yours?
I got this in Lagos market. Yeah.
Lagos?
In my area. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So they still sell them?
Yeah,
I know that they used to be quite popular back in the days. My dad used to basically, have them, buy them, and, use them to starch his clothes. Whoever thought that they were edible, we didn't know that. But hey, guys, if you're just joining us, with me in the kitchen is Chef Kinsley, and he's making banga soup and starch. On the screen right there are the ingredients, guys. If you missed out on them earlier on, you could also make your own banga oil or extract, right? By yourself, all you just need to do is buy the palm kernel nuts, right?
Yes.
Cook them till they're really soft. Then go ahead.
You pound them.
Then after pounding, what happens?
You squeeze out the juice from it.
Okay, with hot water?
Yes, with hot water. Then you tie it out into your pot.
And then allow it to cook till you see the oil, just come right on top in the pot, right?
Yes.
You just see it floating in the pot. You know that your banga is ready. And then you can just, throw in your ingredients. But hey, I'm not the one cooking here. It is Chef Kinsley. So I'm just going to let him get right into it. So what are we doing first up?
So first of all, I'm going to wash my fish with hot water.
Okay.
Then pieces this with hot water also.
Okay.
Then use water to dilute this.
You're still going to add water to this one? Why though?
It's smooth.
Oh, okay. Till it becomes a paste.
Yes, paste.
Form.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Fantastic. Okay. I see that our soup will be coming together really nicely, very quickly. This catfish looks really lumptious, though. Yes, how much did you buy for?
This for 1,000 naira.
Ooh, just this one?
Yes.
That's quite expensive.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like there's no banga soup without your roasted catfish. Yes. It gives it that extra flavor. Yes. So you're either using this or you're using shambala.
Yeah, yes, shambala.
Is it shambala?
Yeah, that's what the Yoruba call it.
That's what they call it, shambala. That fish, ooh, it hits, guys. It hits. Okay, so now I think one interesting part of our recipe that I'm pretty looking forward to is how to make the starch.
Okay.
Because there's a technique to making the starch. So I think a lot of people watching right now would want to experience it. But we'll get right into it. We're not doing this without you guys. Remember to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC if you want to send in those comments. Do you love banga soup? How would you like your banga soup? What would you take it with? This swallow or rice? We'll go on a quick break. The show continues in a bit, guys. Stay with us.
So it's time for art display this morning, and our guest is Akintola Samuel. On Wake Up Nigeria today, we'll be reviewing his realism and hyperrealism. Just so you know, Akintola studied fine art at the Lagos State Polytechnic and Lapotech as well. Now, Samuel is inspired by Silas Onoja, Olumide Oreshegun, Fatola Israel, Nick Sider, and Mayor Arts. It's always good to have people that are inspired by others. And of course, it's a pleasure to have you in the studio with us this morning.
Thank you, ma.
All right. Your works are usually the type that just literally jump at people. And so it makes me really curious. Is this something that came naturally? Like, was it a choice or something you stumbled upon?
You know, I'm just looking for a way to be different from what others are doing. So that's what inspired me.
Wow. So when you started your career, you studied fine arts.
Yes.
And then after studying fine arts, you know, when you're in school, you try to decide which one are you going to do, whether you're going to be a fine artist or applied arts and all. Why did you decide, which one are you, and why did you make that decision?
You know, I started by loving ceramics.
Ceramics?
Yes.
Okay.
But there was a time I put in for admission and it came late. And my friend was like, guy, Alpha, let's go to Last Protect. I was like, but they didn't have ceramics. So it was like, let's give it a try. So after everything I put in, they gave me admission before the first one that I put in for. So I went for it and I later fell in love with it. So I studied painting.
You studied painting. So that was where your painting interest began. Yes. Now, there are so many kind of artists, but hyperrealism is something else. Realism is one thing, and hyperrealism.
Yes.
How did you learn that technique?
After school, I went for training at Ralph Impression Studio.
Okay.
So I learned from him and it was so fantastic. So, and after I'm done with him, I was like, I can't be doing like what other people have been doing.
Yeah,
so I need to, so I need to stay online, watch people, those people that they inspired me, they are doing well, and I love what they are doing. So I give myself to it, and today I have achieved it.
All right, so looking at your paintings on the screen right now, you draw people so well. Like, it's almost as if the person is going to walk out of that painting. It looks like a photograph.
Yeah.
How do you get your work done? Is it something like, do you use photos, or you like to use models, or how do you go about it?
You know, when you want to do hyperrealism, you need to take a picture, study it very well. Because if I say, okay, sit down, let me draw you, they can't actually sit for that long hours. Because it takes a lot of hours to achieve this.
Yeah.
So I need to have their pictures, the best picture, and re-edit it and put myself to bring all the details inside. So that's how I used to achieve it.
Now, I'm very curious about something. In fact, I'm so interested in what I'm about to show you. I'm sure you saw the tiger painting on your screen right now, but guess what? We have it in the studio. And I've been avoiding looking there because it feels like the tiger is going to jump out of the painting. Like, that is how real it is. It's right here. The eyes are so vivid. The image is vivid itself. I would like us to take a look at that painting. Just look at that. Doesn't it look like the tiger is going to jump out at you? I wish you could see what I'm seeing here. It's so real. How long did it take you to paint that?
For like 100 hours.
100 hours. Okay, do you time your paintings?
Yes, I used to start like maybe I start today. I used to count it.
Okay.
So when I finish, that's when I stop counting.
Okay, so this took you 100 hours.
Yes.
Of course, stop and pause, do other things and all, but together 100 hours.
Yes.
Wow, the detail is amazing. Look at that. It's currently on your screen. The process of him drawing this looks amazing. My gosh, see the eyes. My goodness, my goodness. Just look at that. The way the hair looks so fine and so real. Goodness, there's a lot of work that went into that. And then you said this is your first time painting a tiger.
This is my first work.
This is your first work?
Yes, as tiger. So the white one is the second one.
Okay, okay.
So that's how I started.
Wow. So how many tigers have you drawn? Because from the way you're saying, it's like maybe people usually ask you for the tiger.
This is my second one.
Okay.
Yes, and I have some in the studio that I'm working on presently.
Wow. So tiger is something you like drawing?
Yes.
Why?
Because I watch the movement of tigers.
Okay.
I watch the way they hunt, the way they do their
Very
things.
majestic.
Yes, they can, for like 40 minutes, they can lie down, studying what they want to catch. They will just calm down. They won't be at ease. So after everything, they will just come out, just catch whatever they need to catch. Wow. So, and we can see from the look of the tigers, you can see that,
gaze.
yes,
Yeah.
because I title it Fearless Gaze. Because I also interpret it along the way with the woman's life. Because we need to focus on whatsoever we are doing. You know, when we started, we need to be like, let me use myself as an example. When I started out, I was like, how will I do it? But studying the tiger, studying everything, everybody around me, I was like, I can do it. So when I started out, it was not easy though, but by now I am enjoying the process.
I'm actually very happy for you. What other animals are you passionate about drawing?
I draw lion.
Really now?
Yes. And I also have eagles.
Eagles. Yes. It's obvious you like powerful animals. And at this point, that's an eagle that you drew. Wow. Yes. Just look at the detail. My goodness. I love how you are very particular about getting your details right. You don't joke with details. And I find that impressive because it makes it look like you're looking at a photograph, not a painting. And so that's commendable. And so I'm wondering, you said, okay, at the start, it was a bit difficult. How rewarding is it now?
You know, you need to be satisfied with whatsoever you are doing.
Sure.
So once I'm satisfied, people around me, they're like, wow. So, people are loving it. And I'm enjoying the process.
Okay, okay. At least it's rewarding. That's what counts. You're able to pay your bills and make ends meet. So looking forward, everybody has plans for their future. So what is it Akintola Samuel wants to do with his heart?
You know, I don't know how I want to explain this, but I think I want to be Bado, you know, Davido.
When
I want to be
Badu,
like him.
Davido, okay, how?
Yes. Because he's somebody that helps with whatsoever he's doing. And you know, being an artist is not easy. Because there are some people out there that they are very good. But being an artist, you need to have somebody that is supporting you. So there are some people like they need help. Someone like me too, I need help because it's not easy though. But I need to, with the help of my parents, with the help of my hard working and co. But I want to help people. I want to help people. I want to be the hand that people will grow up with. You get what I'm saying? Something like in the future, I can say, by the help of God, I help this one, I help that one. That they too will be very happy.
Wow.
As I am now, though I just started out. It's not that far, but
6 years is far. You've been at this for 6 years, and then of course there's room for growth, and I'm so happy. It's quite interesting to see that you're inspired by Baddest himself, Davido. That's actually commendable. Helping others, giving back. That's awesome. Well done.
Thank you
so much. I'm a fan of your work, especially this tiger. It's literally leaping at me. Well done. Well done. Okay, after looking at the work of art, you know, when you check out works of art, it's always good to have something to nibble on, which is why we're heading straight to the kitchen right now this morning on Wake Up Nigeria.
Kingsley. All right, welcome to the kitchen, guys. Chef Kingsley is so hard at work this morning. He's making banga soup with starch. If you're just joining us, you are welcome. You're just right on time. We haven't started. We have been waiting for you. Where have you been? Thanks for joining us finally. Right, so Kingsley, over to you. Let's talk about the ingredients and then tell us how far you've come.
Okay. So this is catfish, which goes well with banga soup. So that's why I make it as a choice.
It's always a better protein option.
Meanwhile, you can use other protein of your choice. Then for the crayfish give it a bit of more flavor. And so that's why I choose to make use of crayfish. Why the seasoning cube is also good for it. It brings out the taste more. The salt also, the same thing to spice it up. Why the pepper also helps, goes a long way in it so that it will not be slimy in your throat. So
I see that you're using grounded dry pepper. Why?
Right, because that's what I choose to use. You can make use of any.
You can use any sort of pepper, not like there's any. Oh, okay.
So
Great.
this is the periwinkle also, which I also like putting in my banga soup. And
okay. And then I see that you added oil to the banga extra.
I added hot water for it.
Hot water?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the oil comes with the banga naturally.
Okay. So you're just going to stir it into a paste, right?
Paste, yes.
Fantastic. Then we have our bitter leaf over there.
Okay.
I see that you've added hot water
to our the dry fish. Yes. To the dry fish.
Dry fish. Yes. Okay. So you're going to break that
I'm going to.
right?
Yes, I'm going to break
Fantastic. And then we also have hot water that he added to be poured into the catfish. So that's just basically going to take out all the slime from the skin of the catfish. Okay, so where do we begin?
So now I'm going to keep on stirring on the banga to make it a paste.
Okay.
Then once it becomes a paste, I'm going to pour it into the pot for it to boil for some minutes.
Okay.
And after it boils for some minutes, once I can see that, it's almost getting ready, I'm going to put in my catfish.
Okay.
Then my catfish will come in, then I'm going to put some crayfish and some seasoning cube in it, so I cover it to boil for some time.
Okay.
And after it boils for some time, I can see that in just a few minutes will get ready. I'm going to add in my periwinkle to it.
Okay.
Then put some crayfish, additional crayfish, because I like adding crayfish again.
So we're just going to keep adding crayfish.
Yes.
We're going to, bless the soup with a lot of crayfish, giving that extra flavor. Then at what point does the dry fish go into the pot?
The same time I'm going to put it.
Okay, so the same time we put in the catfish. So all the fish is going in together. So we have the dry fish and then the catfish.
Yes.
Well, both catfishes actually just, we just have a catfish and then that one is roasted, all going in together. Okay, it's coming together really nicely. Well done, Kingsley. We're going to work in a bit. The show continues in a bit, people. We need you to please stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
Before the weekend storm or the weekend enjoyment. But it's also a day for action and momentum, I dare say. And as we move into the second hour, let's keep the energy going with a bit of inspiration. I came across a beautiful quote that fits perfectly with today's theme. Art is the journey of a free soul. Just think about that for a moment. Whether it's music, painting, or even the art of living, we are all on our own creative journey, and today is another step on that path, which is why we're really glad to know that you're tuning in from wherever you are right now, your living room, your office, or even on the road. Today's show is all about encouraging you to be bold and embrace your own creativity, whatever form it takes. My name is Mary Bashua Alimi. You can catch us live on GOTV, channel 16, and on UHF band 49. You can also stream us live at TVC Entertainment on YouTube and on Facebook at TVC Entertainment _. Now, don't forget our app. It's available for download on both Android and iOS stores. That's where you can catch us anywhere at anytime on your own convenience. And not forgetting all the activities taking place in the kitchen this morning. I know quite well that MM and the chef have been hard at work. Chef Kingsley is trying to, the only thing I heard was bitter leaf. What's going on in the kitchen though?
Actually making banga soup.
Oh.
And we're having this banga soup with starch, right? So you say it's a full meal. This is the kind of meal that when you have it, you just go to sleep. Like, that's the only perfect way, you know, it can, you know that you've had something.
Literally just starting.
Well, our day is about to begin, Mary. We have no idea. So, Kingsley is hard at work. As you can see, our fish is coming together. We have our banga extracts already in the pots cooking. So, yeah. We're coming together really nicely. We'll be ready
We're looking forward to the end results of that. And talking about looking forward to stuff, let's tell you what to look forward to this hour. So much more to come, but I'll just tell you about this.
And we're back. Thanks for staying with us. We have a tech conversation right now, and Damilare Shitu is a seasoned technology leader with strong expertise in analytics, data, and AI, recognized for his impactful contributions to digital transformation across key industries. And this morning, he's here to talk about AI and its impact in our everyday lives. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
I'm great, thank you. All right, first off, let's establish what AI is. I know that we cannot overemphasize, you know, AI, its importance, but people need to be reminded that, you know, the AI, you know, is the future and it's come to stay. You know, people also need to know, you know, its impact and its importance, you know, in this world of technology that we have currently faced, you know, with. So kindly establish what the AI is first off.
All right, thank you, and a pleasure to be here once again. Think of AI as a technology revolution that has happened, you know, over the course of several years. I mean, there was a time when people basically programmed machines to mimic human beings, right? And, you know, think of a calculator, for example. That's the earliest form of, you know, AI that you can imagine, because, I mean, those machines were basically programmed to perform certain functions. But then those were rule-based. Evolution came and, you know, rather than specifically ask the machine to do something, you basically fed it with lots of data, and then you allow the machine learn from itself. And think of a baby. You know, a baby is born, doesn't understand coordination, doesn't know what to do, but then just by observing and seeing humans act, it starts to, you know, take on its own behavior, and to the point that it becomes a professional. And then, you know, I mean, further innovations came, and, you know, lots of data being fed into machine. You know, think of your digital assistants or your facial recognition on your phone, you know, and then now to, you know, you're not even asking the machine to do anything. It just basically takes all the information around, you know, things like generative AI that just, you know, collects information and makes its own inferences, helps you summarize content, and even generate new content, as with the case of ChatGPT. You know, so these are, you know, how technology has evolved to make AI perform tasks from simple to really complex.
Now, as a 9-to-5er, how can I impact AI into my everyday life? So I wake up in the morning as early as 5 a.m., get to the office. Now I'm on the show. Afterwards, I have, you know, other businesses that I have to, you know, attend to. So how does AI help to, you know, program my day to make it easier and, you know, to make it easier, basically?
So there was a time in history when if you wanted to wake up at 5 a.m., for example, you literally had to hire somebody to come wake you up at that time, because, you know, I mean, clocks were not, democratized. People did not have watches and all of that.
Yeah.
But guess what happened? A few years over the line, everybody owned, watches and clocks. So you didn't need those kinds of people. So people that did those kinds of jobs, I'm sure at that time must have felt, oh, my job is being taken away. But then, evolution happens. From the history of man, innovation and technology has disrupted things. So now, to a modern day society, what AI really does is, helps to increase productivity, increase efficiency. So in every single area of your life, like your calendar integration, like you're helping you generate, content for a program or for your product, like for helping you summarize, long and lengthy articles, so that you can easily read and digest them. Because again, we know that the world is now at the verge of micro learning and reading, rather than the attention span has really gotten short, is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
So rather than read long text, people now look for shorter things to easily digest. So AI helps you do all of that. Basically increase your productivity, and even in areas of business, I talked about helping you generate like a marketing pitch.
I was coming there. Before we get into the business side of things, right? Because I would like to believe that business people, entrepreneurs, leaders need to begin to tap into the AI. But before then, let's look at accessibility, right? It's become sort of challenging. So, for example, I research AI, right? And then, there's series of, AI ChatGPT apps that come up. But the issue now becomes accessing it. How can one easily access, this AI?
All right, before we even talk about, accessibility in itself. I mean, we must first understand that, every information that you put out there, it is your responsibility first as a person to ensure that, the information is safe, is free from harm, you're protecting yourself. So there's a plethora of tools and services that help you do, simple and complex AI tasks.
Like which one?
And we should be. I mean, I mentioned, ChatGPT, for example. There is, the entire, suite of Meta AI, that helps you do those kinds of stuff. So there are tools available. But then before you decide which one you want to really use, I mean, first is you must understand the policies around it. There are, basically, principles of responsible AI that helps you ensure that you are safe, and also make sure that the developers of those AI tools have the responsibility of protecting the platform and protecting the environment, because AI really, at the end of the day, it's just acting as a tool to do what you want it to do. You as a custodian of that tool or technology are still responsible for ensure that what you're putting out is safe, and then
secure.
Does not impede any other person's rights.
Okay. Fantastic. The truth of the matter is, these days, even with, on our phones, we are faced with, AIs, even with social media platforms that we have access to. We have AI models, and it's just, knowing how to utilize them.
Right.
Thank you so much, Damilaris. It was such a pleasure having you
Thank
here.
you, pleasure.
With quite a short while, I've learned one or two things, and I'm sure someone at home has learned as well from this conversation. The show continues shortly, people. Would like you to stay with us.
Now let's have a book chat this morning on Wake Up Nigeria, and it's with Dr. Jamie Pajuel. He is the founder of Workplace Leadership Institute, which is a prestigious leadership certification organization aimed at creating transformative change in the way leaders relate and work with others at the workplace. He is an author of 2 books, Executing with Excellence and Workplace Leadership. It's such a pleasure to have you in the studio with us this morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
For the work you're doing here. I'm happy to be here.
It's our pleasure. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about your book.
Yes.
Executing with Excellence. That's what's the idea behind the book? Let's start from there.
The idea behind it is just to emphasize on the need for people to raise the bar in terms of how they do, how they work, how they relate with other people. Interestingly, I was compelled to write the book at a time when I was trying to more or less like attract quality people into my space and to also be able to patronize what I do. Then I realized that there are people that pay attention to quality and not quantity.
Yeah.
And it matters a great deal how much I'm able to, what I do and how I do them. So the Executing with Excellence, it's a call for people to be able to be exceptional at what they do. Don't just get the job done. Do it in an excellent way. It lays so much emphasis on the need for people to realize that anything that has your name on it is a signature.
Yes, absolutely.
And not just, so if you have a book, it's not just a book. It's a signature.
It represents you.
It represents you. It speaks so much about who you are. So someone else want to pick that book and just go beyond reading it to admiring your work, even engaging you more. So that's just what the book is all about.
Now, let's go through some of the chapters. Hopefully we can go through all, but let's start from making things work.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Making things work, it's a call for people to realize that, you know, we live in a world filled with so many challenges, and sometimes people don't believe that some certain things are possible. I've done so many things in my life that to an ordinary individual might think that they're not possible to do. But the act of making things work starts with you believing that it's possible, right? So there is another book I'm working on which is called Inspiring Possibilities.
Inspiring Possibilities.
The whole idea is to inspire people to know that you can achieve anything. Now, the act of making things work starts from when you believe in yourself or believe that something is possible, because you cannot achieve what you don't believe in.
That's true. That's true.
So if you want to do something, the first step is towards you believing that this thing that I want to do, it's possible. So that's what that chapter is all about.
Now, that takes us to mindset of excellence.
Absolutely.
So
Because
while you try to make things work, it's important to have the mindset of excellence.
yes, it's important to have the mindset of excellence, because without the mindset, that's the seat of, that's where the magic happens, right? If you don't believe that it is possible for you to achieve a greater height, then you can never achieve it. So the mindset for excellence is very important. It's more or less like we can narrow it down to the culture, because it's that mindset that drives your culture, and culture drives behavior, and behavior is what's going to drive your result, the kind of result you get, right? So, but when you have the mindset for excellence, then it influences your philosophies, your culture, and then the outcome is what we see as a result.
Now, as the results come in, you also try to raise the bar.
Raise the bar.
Which is the next factor.
Absolutely. Yeah, raising the bar is also, you know, many years ago when I started doing some certain things, it got to a point I realized that for me to be able to serve the global community, I have to raise the bar from how I appear, from my appearance, from communication, to how I do things. And literally, I've been to different parts of the world. In 2018, I was invited by President Bill Clinton and Hillary in New York. It was as a result of my work, right? It was as a result of someone seeing what I've been doing over the years. And there's some people who will never associate with you just because you have not raised the bar.
Yeah.
There's some individuals, some customers that will never buy from you. But the moment you raise the bar, you begin to speak the language of quality and excellence, and then you begin to attract some certain level of high-profile individuals in your space.
And of course, that takes us to pursuit of excellence. Every time I hear that, I always think of Will Smith because of the movie. So when you're talking about pursuit of excellence, which of course segues into Wheel of Excellence, what is that about?
Pursuit of excellence, you know, sometimes excellence doesn't mean that you are going for perfection, but it means that you recognize that at every level, there is a need for you to keep elevating your game, right? So you're not just going to, it's not about you going after perfection. It's about you recognizing that at every level, there's another level. So it never stops. You keep pursuing it. You keep improving your work, keep improving yourself. So that's what that chapter is all about.
All right. So what about the wheel itself, the Wheel of Excellence?
Just like when you have a car, and then you have a wheel, right? And so it's more or less like what drives the vehicle, right? So that's when you now have things like creativity, things like innovation, right? Things like you understanding, being effective in what you do. So what are those things that makes achieving excellence possible? It also lays so much emphasis also on the mindset too.
And then I find it interesting that you went from dealing with the individual to talking about the organization itself.
Absolutely.
Why did you decide that, okay, you know what, I've dealt with the individual. For the rest of these chapters, let's talk about the organization.
And that's because people spend so much time at the workplace, right? So much of our time is being spent at the workplace. I've realized that most people don't understand the difference between effectiveness and efficiency, right? And with who you are is what you bring to the work. So it also matters a great deal the culture. When we talk about organization, things like organizational culture, it is individuals bringing who they are at work. So when an organization embraces excellence, what you see is that you're going to get retainership, happy customers, and people buying from you, right? Where other people kind of struggle to penetrate, to go in, you get things done with ease because literally people come in and having an experience with you. It matters a great deal of the kind of the perception they have about your organization.
You know, there's the excellence in leadership. There's so many things one can learn from your book. And so I wonder, many people who write books like this that have to do with motivating people also tend to have places where they train people, have talks. Do you have any of such?
Yes, of course. So I live in Canada. So in Canada, we have workplace leadership institutes.
Okay.
So we basically run trainings and certification for leaders. Okay. We're raising leaders who will transform the workplace and also improve how they relate with people. Just like you mentioned, like there's excellence can be linked to so many things. But because I work as a leadership consultant, so we basically also talk about excellence in leadership because it now begins to do with how you relate with people, how you treat people, right? How you see people, because the mindset of a leader is more important than the act of leading.
Absolutely.
Right? And even here in Nigeria, so my organization, that's the Jimmy Pajuala International, we also focuses on raising exceptional young leaders. So we have chapters in 36 states in Nigeria.
Wow, that's amazing.
And each of them have over 1,000, right? As a matter of fact, so every year we host the largest youth leadership convention in Nigeria. We have one coming up in March.
Okay.
Yes, we have one coming up in March. So sometimes people wonder, how are you able to do this? You live in Canada,
and you're still actively
involved in Nigeria.
Okay.
That's for me, it's because I believe that the best place to shine as a light is in the midst of darkness.
True.
What I mean by that is that here we have a lot of young people who are looking for a platform to express themselves.
Absolutely.
Something amazing happened in Nigeria on Saturday. We hosted our state youth assembly in 22 states, and I wasn't there.
And you were in there?
Yeah.
Physically?
I were in there, and things happened perfectly. That tells you that we have creative minds in this country, young people that when given the right expression and the right training can do so many great work.
Wow, that's really amazing. So I guess it's for us to look forward to that event in March.
Yes, we're hosting 5,000 people. We have 20, we have delegates coming from 20 countries, and it's happening on March 8th to 9.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it in Nigeria?
In Lagos here.
Let's be sure which one. Well, really, thank you so much. It's been quite an interesting conversation with you, Dr. Jamie Pajoel, especially unraveling your book, which promises to be exciting.
Thank you so much.
It's one that is very commendable. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you,
the work
indeed.
you're doing. Thank you.
Nice, nice. All right, welcome back, people. Thanks for staying with us. We had quite an electrifying performance earlier on with Sochi, and she's joined us right here on the couch. And we're going to be speaking to her in two different dimensions. She as Elizabeth Abisola Salawu, and as Sochi. She's a multifaceted music artist, model, fitness, and tech enthusiast. She's based in Lagos, and as an independent artist, she has a 5-track EP titled Hybrid and a single titled Work It. She has worked several fashion shows and have also worked on several fashion projects. She also appeared in Beyonce's film Black is King and Grammy Award-winning video Brown Skin Girl featuring Wizkid and also many notable personalities. She's a beauty queen, and she recently emerged Miss Universe Nigeria Top Model 2024. Good morning.
Good morning.
You have quite a resume, don't you? Look at you, being a music artist, featuring in our Queen Bee's film. How did that make you feel, though? How was the experience? Talk to us.
It was quite a wonderful experience. I didn't see it coming, really.
Okay.
So it just came, and
how did the opportunity come, though?
At the time, I was with an agency that was representing me.
That's a model agency.
The model, yes.
Okay. An international brand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, yeah, that's how it came, and boom. They were looking for the brown skin girl, and, you know, I always bring the fire.
Oh, look at you, bringing the hits.
Yeah.
I love the sass. Okay, so before we move into you as an artist, let's talk to you as the recent Miss Universe Nigeria Top Model. What was your experience like getting into the competition? First of all, what spurred you to get into the competition? What was the experience like? What was required of you to win the competition?
Well, it was quite a very short experience, but it was worth it.
Okay.
It started with online auditions, and then we got callbacks, and then we're given states to represent. Luckily, you know, I got my own state, your state. I represented my state of origin. And then it was boot camp. It was about 10 days, which was really, if you ask me, it was short because it was full of activities. But then we had a number of brands come in, and we had fun.
How were you able to keep your head up? Because you're being in a space of other women. We know how competition, how stifling, you know, the space can be when you have loads of women, you know, who some, if you might even think, look better than you. Some you think, oh, she's definitely going to win this. How did you keep your head up? How were you, you know, ensuring that you're, you know, grounded?
Well, you know, there's always going to be someone who's more beautiful, who has a better body, or nicer banging body, or a lighter skin tone or something like that. But one thing that helped me to stand out was being true to myself. Like, I don't like to copy people, so I'm very hard to influence.
Okay.
I mean, if it's negatively, then you can't just come and influence me. I mean, I would appreciate you, you know, encourage you, but then you can't influence me. So being amongst wonderful ladies was quite inspiring. There were quite a few ladies that was so good, you know, and I was opportune to be with wonderful girls. So.
All right, fantastic. Yeah. Okay, let's talk to you as Sochi. You have been, strong into different spaces and industries.
Right.
That has quite a lot of competition. The music industry right now, we don't have so many female music artists that are thriving. It seems just a little small circle with just, a certain number of, female artists who are doing well. But then you have so many music artists who are out there, struggling, thriving. How have you been able to, deal with some of these challenges being in the music industry as a female artist?
Well, it's challenging already being an artist. Then being female just makes it even
more
worse. Yeah. But I think there's room for everybody to shine.
Okay.
And you have to be unique in your own way. I believe I'm unique in my own way. There's nobody that can be Sochi. I'm sorry. But
oh, right, sure.
So there can only be one Sochi because what I bring to the table is quite different from what XYZ brings. So being me, being realistic, and channeling all my energy and my talents into everything that I do. And if you look closely, they're all related. If I'm shooting a video, I'm modeling. If I'm singing, I'm still modeling, striking poses, walking, dancing. And it's not just about having a pretty face. It's also about being able to impact people.
Oh, fantastic. Making impact as well. Let's talk a little bit about your genre. It can be quite difficult to sort of, put your passion aside when it comes to what you really, how you really want to express your crafts and just, jump on the bandwagon because that's what's trending, because that's what everyone is listening to. Right now, we're all feeling the amapiano sound, but maybe you want to just be a soulful singer, but you can't be a soulful singer because you got to make money, right? True. So how are you able to make stay true to, what you really love to do while still shining through and still making monies from that?
I'm a very versatile person, and it's the same with my music. I love R&B, I love pop, and then Afrobeat. So if you listen to my music, there are different elements of these genres in one. So a track might give you a certain feel, and then another track can give you another feel. And I just performed Work It, which is an amapiano upbeat music.
Yeah, it is.
So on my EP, I have a range of Afrobeats, R&B, pop sensations. So.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely be looking out for you, and congratulations on your new album.
Thank you.
It's going to be a hit.
Yeah.
I expect to hear it, making waves on the radios and everywhere. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we have banga soup with starch. I know that you have to keep this body banging, but we would like you to join us in the kitchen. I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind. It's my first time trying banga soup.
Oh, it's your first
time?
Ooh.
So I'm looking forward to it.
In that case, we're breaking a record. So please join us in the kitchen.
Okay.
All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the kitchen, Soshila.
If you sleep me sleeping,
holla at your girl. Oh, holla at the banga soup. And the starch. Welcome to the kitchen, Sochi.
Thank you.
This is starch and banga soup that's been made by Chef Kinsley. Chef K to the K. Right, and would like you to enjoy. We have, tell her what you have in there.
Dig in while he tells us.
Okay, so the soup is made up of The protein I make use of it is the catfish, fresh catfish. I also make use of the dry catfish. Then I put in some periwinkle in it. Then there's banga seasoning in it, mangi, pepper, then the
Salt, pepper.
in it. Then bitter leaf also in it.
Crayfish as well.
Okay. Am I doing this right? Because
Yeah, that's the
actually
thing
doing
with
it well.
starch. It can
It's
be very
sticky.
tricky, right?
Oh, okay. This is a Delta delicacy, right?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, shout out to all my Delta people out there.
Yes, so shout out to them.
Again.
Wow.
She said, wow.
That hits, right?
Unexpected.
Yeah. But it's morning, you know, like you said. I'm sleeping.
Nice.
Yeah, we know that it's not really about the sleep, it's about maintaining this body.
Well, I can work it out.
Yeah, like a song, right?
Yes, work it, baby.
All right,
Well
so
done,
with that,
Shoke. Well
yes,
done,
thank you
well
so
done.
much.
That's
We've
really
come to
good.
the end of Wake Up Nigeria this morning, and we're so glad to know you're right there watching us day in, day out. Be sure to join us again tomorrow for the Thank God It's Friday edition, 7 a.m. sharp. We'll be right here. Bye-bye.
Bye.